Father in heaven, thank you so much for another day of life. Thank you for the ability to help people. Thank you for helping those who were in difficult, very challenging situations over the weekend. We ask you to please be with those who are hurting and suffering today, and please give us your wisdom and guidance. In Jesus' name, amen. So,
Mhm.
welcome everyone. We are here to talk about the Faith, Freedom, and Liberty event where we are celebrating 250 years of the ability to have the opportunity of sharing our faith, thereby having the freedom and liberty to do so. We have heard from Pastor Loma King and Pastor Wahlberg about an invitation to join this event, which is really going to be an unusual and once in my life so far opportunity of combining this very, very wonderful experience of celebrating separation of church and state and liberty of conscience with the actuation of that sharing of the faith, which of course is the physical, mental, spiritual clinic that we're going to
What?
be doing at the Phoenix Convention Center, September
Oh,
4 to 6. And if you are not
hold
having
on.
your technology muted, if you could please kindly mute all technology, that would be wonderful. We all know it will be at the Phoenix Convention Center South Hall. It's just in a week and a half. It's unbelievable what God is doing. He has provided for so many needs that we've had. We continue to have needs, but He continues to provide what we need at just the right time. We're going to talk about a couple of those miracles in just a minute. All of you have seen the volunteer flyer. Again, it's here for your perusal. You can also go to libertyandhealth.org. You can download the volunteer flyer. You can also go to FFL 250, Faith, Freedom, and Liberty, FFL 250, which is our outward facing website for the community, and you can download the flyers that are now available for patients. Right now, I believe, based on the statistics that I saw today, we had around 260 volunteers that have registered. It's my understanding that there are a number of others who have not yet registered. I'm really hoping we can get closer to 400 by God's grace, but we have our nearly Gideon 300, so God will provide for what we need. This week, I don't know how many of you had the opportunity of watching the little video that we produced and sent out. It was just a cell phone video, but it's been a rather trying, faith trying week. We've had some strange things happen. For those of you who saw the little video, you saw the picture of trees being uprooted. Literally, we had a microburst. In Phoenix, we have monsoons. So between July and September, usually, we get these monsoons, which are essentially flash floods out of nowhere. We get very strong wind currents. We had 70-mile-an-hour winds just this last week, ripped up a huge couple of trees, and actually one huge tree in my front yard, ripped open the storage unit where much of our supplies were at the same location that my father owns, which is where the trailers are that store a lot of our equipment and supplies. And unfortunately, when that happened, not only did his houses and property get destroyed, but the trailer that housed our literature, and specifically, and this was of all the things, of all the bins that got ruined, it was the bin that had the beautiful Bibles, the ones that we give away to our dignitaries, as well as the hardbound Great Controversy and Ministry of Healing books. And that they were just soaking wet and strewn out. In addition to that, we found out some very unexpected, both personal things within my immediate family, financial challenges, but also with the ministry. And then on Friday, our key director, one of our key directors and key director of logistics, had a very severe injury. Actually, his vertebral body was fractured, as well as his humeral head, meaning his shoulder and his vertebrae. And he will not be able to work in the capacity that he has been able to before. But we're so grateful to God that his life was spared. And we're so grateful to God that more of our equipment and supplies were not destroyed in this microburst. And God is providing. He is absolutely providing. In fact, through this, we realize that we will have to hire help now, but God is already working a miracle. Someone came forward with a 15,000 up to 15,000 matching, and then two other people added an additional $1,000, so it came to 17,000 matching. So we have this beautiful opportunity of getting $17,000 and then matching that $17,000 towards needed costs in addition to those that are needed just to purchase the assistance that is now going to be necessitated. And as I was thinking about all the things that have happened just this week and all the miracles that God is doing, Romans 8:37 popped in my head. Yet in all these things, because Paul is talking about all the difficulties and trials just before that. And then he says, yet in all these things, we are more than conquerors through him who loved us. So we can be more than conquerors through the difficulties that come to us when we depend on faith. And that doesn't mean that yours truly is has been faithful 100%, because sometimes I too take my eyes off of Jesus and I fall, but Jesus is merciful and gracious and long suffering and willing to forgive to the uttermost. And so when we lose, whether it's me or you or any of us, lose our sight on the prize, when we go to him, we ask forgiveness and we ask for his grace. He's right there to forgive us our sins and to provide us the strength and grace we need. And so one of the other things that happened this week is we had been expecting our flyers to arrive a week and a half before. They finally arrived Wednesday night, and I thought, you saw the SOS emails that came out. How are we going to get these 50,000 flyers out? They were supposed to have been out a week and a half ago. And do you know, we've only begun this process just on Friday, pretty much, Thursday to Friday, because of God's grace, because of so many wonderful people. And I just want to say thank you, Mr. George Reeves, and to so many others that have literally picked up the flyers and ran with them. God has already helped us to be able to get out almost all the Spanish flyers, at least distributed to the local Seventh-day Adventist churches and volunteers. We still have about 15 to 20,000 English flyers, but those are beginning to get out in a very quick succession. In fact, I want to tell you about a story that just happened yesterday. So right after making an announcement at church, I left church, raced home, changed into more mission-oriented clothes as opposed to church clothes. Myself, two of my children, and two of our closest friends got in the vehicle and drove with our flyers downtown. Well, it was a very hot day yesterday. Temperatures were stated on the weather station or on the internet to be 112 in Phoenix. However, when we got down to downtown Phoenix, my car's thermometer, which I tend to believe because it felt this way, it was not 112. It was reading 117. It literally, when you stepped out of the car, it felt like you were under, I don't even know. It was just this horrific heat. And as you looked around, as I looked around, it was so sad, because there were so many people without homes, so many people who were some destitute, and they were literally looking for any shade they could find. There were people that were under a bridge. There were people just kind of leaned up against the back of a bus stop that they got a little bit of shade. And it was quite the temperature jarring moment. And so we began to give our flyers out. Now, I clearly wasn't used to the temperatures that these poor people are regularly subjected to. And so we were only out there for about 3.5 hours, and it was hot. Well, we had given out at this point about 1,000 flyers. In the end, it was between 1,000 to 1,200 or thereabouts. So we were able to get out. But we had kind of finished our experience. We felt like we were overheated and we were at the last convenience store, my son and I went inside to see if I could give some flyers to the inside crew, see if we could leave some there. And as I was coming out, I noticed a man in a pickup, and he looked very, very sad. He literally looked like he was in despair, quite frankly. And he kind of made eye contact with me and then he looked away. And so I thought, well, should I go over and offer him a flyer or not? He doesn't seem to want to engage with me, and I don't want to, push myself on him. But something just kept saying, go over, go ask him if he wants a flyer. And so I went over, and in my terrible Spanish, I attempted to ask would he prefer English or Spanish. And he essentially told me in his we had this unusual ability to have this broken conversation that he did not speak either Spanish or English. He spoke a indigenous peoples from the Mexican areas language, a different dialect of Spanish. And so I said, well, this is a free event, and I told him it was for dental and medical and vision. And he asked me what were the qualifications for him to be able to receive services. Would he have to meet certain criteria in order to come? And I said, no, absolutely not. We want everyone to come. There's no identification, no documentation. Everyone is welcome. Everyone is invited to come to this wonderful opportunity, and also the free meals, the free banquet. And I kid you not, although this is not a picture of the man, this is an AI driven picture to protect his identity and his privacy, quite frankly. But his face just completely changed. He went from looking like he was in despair to having joy. And he told me in his different dialect of Spanish and in my terrible comprehension, God bless you. God bless you. And thank you so much. And it was just so touching to me. It was so touching. Here I was, a slightly uncomfortable with the heat and not sure if I should go and approach this gentleman or not. And yet, that one flyer literally brought joy to someone who was feeling somewhat discouraged. Just today, I have all these flyers in my car. And for those of you local, I would highly recommend you get some of these flyers, put them in your car, take them everywhere you go. So after this, today I was actually on my way to my folks' house. We were going to go over a few of the logistics for the event. I stopped to get my son some lunch. And while I was there, I noticed one of the largest churches in Phoenix was just getting out. And I kind of looked, and I mean, there were lots and lots and lots of people coming out. And I noticed that they had some buses. And as I looked to my left, there were quite a number of men that, like, all of a sudden they started looking at me, and they looked like they were getting ready to get into the bus. And I thought perhaps maybe they were coming from a recovery house or some other location that they had been bussed into the church for. And I kid you not, when I looked at them, their eyes caught my eyes. A whole bunch of them literally jumped out of their bus. Now, I didn't have my window down. I didn't have any like, hey, waving at them or anything. I just looked at them, and there were, I don't even know, hundreds and hundreds, if not 1,000 people there. So why they caught my eye and why I caught their eye, I have no idea, other than it had to have been God. They literally jumped out of their bus, and I opened my door, and I still wasn't right next to them. I was still probably 2 cars and a driveway away from them. They started walking towards me as soon as I opened my car door. For all they knew, I was just getting out to go to Taco Bell, which is where I was going to take my son. They start walking towards me. I run to the back of my car. I pop open the trunk, grab some flyers, and start walking towards them. By this point, they're all like, we meet away from their bus. Actually, it was right close to my car is where they met me. And I said, we have this free event. I wanted to give you guys. Oh, they got so excited. They were just like almost with glossy, teary eyes. Oh, please, please, could we take more? We have so many men. We're from a recovery house. This would be so wonderful. Could we please have more? I said, by all means. And I gave them a stack. And then I said, we're Christians. And they, of course, they're Christians. They're coming to church. So are we. They said, we go to this recovery house. We've given up on these things. And oh, this will be so wonderful for us. Can we please have more flyers? I said, absolutely. I said, would you like some flyers in Spanish too? Yes, yes, please. Could we have some, please? More. Yes, give us more. We'll give all of these flyers out. By this point, we had walked together back to the bus where the rest of the men were. And at this point, there might have been about maybe 12 to 20 men that were all encircling this conversation. It was so beautiful. It was so touching. It just took my breath away that God caused that to happen. There's no question in my mind why those men just looked at me as I'm driving up. There was nothing that was taking place other than God wanted them to be invited to this event. And so for me, the miracles, in spite of not only the literal storm, but the spiritual storm, are what is pushing me forward. And I hope it's pushing each and every one of you forward as well. Jesus is asking us, as he does at every single one of our events or any difficulty that we come across when we're doing God's work, will we put our hand, will we grasp his hand, and will we allow him to lead us forward despite all the difficulties? And there are many, but God is literally leading us. And for me, those two instances were very clear evidences that he is with us. He is leading us. He is leading to the people that he has already called to himself. And what a blessing and what an honor to be able to have a tiny little part in that process for each and every one of us. The media and the government awareness. And, sometimes people think, oh, well, why do you care about the media and the government? What difference does it make? We're here for the people. Yes, we're here for the people. But Jesus mingled with those of earthly high levels as well as earthly to the lower levels. Jesus mingled with everyone. Jesus is the God to everyone. He's literally calling all to himself. I have some exciting news. I'm not going to reveal names at this point, but one United States House of Representatives individuals is going to be coming. They have indicated that they want to give their full support, and I am just thrilled that this is a wonderful opportunity, again, of not just demonstrating the love of Jesus, but also demonstrating and verbalizing through our pastors, through our attorneys, the importance of maintaining that liberty so more people can come to know Jesus. Two senators, U.S. Arizona senators, have indicated that they will be for sure present. We already have news affiliates, and I'm going to keep the names of those at this point private, but news affiliates have indicated that they will be covering the event, and they have indicated, Lord willing, pray about this, that they may even be willing to do a morning show starting next week, as opposed to waiting till the press conference till the day of or the day before. God is truly blessing. And I want to encourage each and every one of us to continue to reach out to our fellow churches, not just Seventh-day Adventist churches, to our brethren in other churches, to invite them to come, to invite them to participate and volunteering so that they too can see the power of our Jesus, because Jesus is calling everyone to himself. The banquet and the evening meetings are by the grace of God and faith. By faith, they are coming along. This is the plan. We'll see if this is the Lord's final actuation, if this is what he wants, but this is the plan for the evening meetings and banquets. We will be sitting at dinner tables. It is going to be, by the grace of God, a very high experience as we celebrate 250 years that God set this nation up to allow it to have the freedom and liberty so that we can share our faith with those who are searching. Isn't it beautiful what the Lord is planning? I am very, very excited. We will see how it all works out. It will work out to his praise and glory. Right now, the wristbands for those of you in all of our departments, particularly in registration, in triage, and hospitality. We are going to have a flag. This will be a new thing. They will be banded for the evening banquet and program. Now, obviously, it's their choice whether they decide to come or not, but we want them to remember with a wristband that they are personally invited to that evening banquet and program. So when you see the flag, you know what that means. Billboards are going up. I believe we have 3 on the off of the I-17 and 1 just near the junction of the I-10 and the I-17. For those of you in Phoenix, you know what that means. They're alternating, but this is a copy actually of one of the billboards. And there are 3 others that are also advertising the medical, dental, and vision clinic. In addition, we have it alternating with the conference billboard as well. These are electronic billboards. So we're very excited about that. I think this is a wonderful blessing. Again, for those of you who are handing out flyers, we will be posting the exact locations of these billboards. If at all possible, I would like to particularly work that area with flyers. Marketing has told us that if people see something 2 or 3 times, sometimes it takes 3 times, they're much more likely to say, oh, I guess I need to go. So perhaps they'll see the billboard, they get a flyer, they'll see it on the news. At that point, by God's grace, it will say to them, I need to go to this. God wants me to go to this. So September 3, by way of reminder, over and over again, we've talked about this, all hands on deck. At this point, with what's happened to one of our absolutely key logistics directors, officiating leader, we need a lot of you there for setup. It's going to take literally all hands on deck. So if at all possible, on Thursday, as many of you as possible, we need you there, especially our strong men. Yes, ladies, we need you to do all kinds of lots and lots of things, but we especially need our strong men. We'll be starting at 8 o'clock in the morning. By noon, volunteer registration will probably be ready to start issuing you your identification badges. Plan to be done with your department setting up around 5 o'clock. You'll have your final department meetings at 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. is the final quote unquote mandatory general volunteer meeting. If absolutely possible, please plan to be there. This will be our final chance of discussing last minute events, changes. We really want to have things as organized as possible for our first day on September 4, Friday. 7 a.m., please plan to arrive at your site. By 7:30, we will have worship. The doors will be, the plan is the doors are actually open by 7:15. Worship will be from 7 to 7:15. I need to change that. We'll plan for the doors to be open by 7:30 so that the patients are in the chairs of the provider by 8 a.m. The clinic will continue. Lunch will be provided. And the evening dinner, banquet dinner, then will be after close of clinic, which is 5 o'clock. And the dinner will be at 6 p.m. Evening meeting is at 7 p.m. If you plan for Sunday, Sunday's schedule is exactly the same as this. We've gone over this several times. There continues to be questions. So I felt like we need to go over it one more time. And hopefully when we post this, this will be more helpful. Again, for Sabbath morning, for Saturday Sabbath, we are having a Sabbath celebration in the morning. As we know, lots of people have been talking about Saturday Sabbath. Everyone from the Pope about a year and a half ago calling it Holy Sabbath, Holy Saturday actually, to Donald Trump most recently in end of May, beginning of June, referring to a national Sabbath. Charlie Kirk and J.D. Vance. So as we celebrate our 250 years as a nation having the freedom and liberty to share our faith, it makes perfect sense to talk about God's evidence of liberty, and that's given in the Holy Sabbath, the Holy Saturday Sabbath. So we will be doing that Sabbath morning. However, That program starts at 9 o'clock in the morning. Registration is going to start around the same time. We would like the doors of registration and triage to be open by 7:30 so that we can process patients through registration, through medical triage between 7:30 to 8:30, so that by 8:45 the patients are able to be sat, those who want to be seated in the Sabbath celebration banquet tables, that they can do that. If they prefer not to, they will not lose their place in line. They can wait inside and be cool. And when the doors are able to be open to the clinic after the meeting is over, the Sabbath celebration church time is over, then they will be able to go in and be seen by the providers. So again, the registration and triage will begin 7:30 in the morning, Sabbath morning. It will continue until song service, no later than 8:45. We would like the people to be seated. The Liberty Forum will begin between 9 and 9:30. And then we will have the Faith, Freedom, and Liberty 250 celebration. There will also be a gratitude session for some of our dignitaries at 10:30 a.m. And we will provide this information to you as well. By noon, we will plan for lunch for all volunteers and patients that are there. And then the patients will be seen. The clinic will open for those to relieve pain and suffering Sabbath afternoon. And then dinner will be served at 6 p.m. as usual, with evening dinner, our evening meeting at 7 o'clock. Message and music. Oops, I'm getting feedback. I hope you guys aren't hearing that. The music and messaging is going to be reach by God's grace everyone. We want it to be uniform, whether a person is a volunteer or a patient or a dignitary, the media, all of us will be together. It really is like what Jesus did when Jesus was on earth. When he spoke to the 4,000 there, like we're seeking, Lord willing, to be able to serve the 4,000, he was able to reach everyone. And I would ask that we all continue to pray that God will give all of us wisdom, and specifically give our speakers wisdom, give those who are in an organizational sense wisdom to know how he would have us to word things just right, so that we are winsome, we represent his love and beauty to those who come. On September 7, this is breakdown day. So the clinic again is Friday, Sabbath afternoon, and Sunday all day. On Monday the 7th, this is breakdown day. We will start early by 7 a.m., hoping to be done by 1 p.m. But again, because we have lost our key logistics leader, we need everyone as far as possible. I know many of you already have your plans made, and that's perfectly understandable. But if you have any flexibility, given the situation, we are really in need of more people to help. We've already talked about the change of events with the logistics assistance, as we talked about already. Services that are being provided. This is new. You might want to take a snapshot of this. This is the wristbands. So this is the wristbands that will be applied to the patient's wrist in registration, triage, and possibly within the medical department. This is very important. No one is to place the bands on the patients unless directed by the department head. Please do not promise patient services other than what has been directed by your department head. This will minimize confusion for the patients and make things a much more inviting environment. These are your colors. You'll see those there. There are some that will be only given within triage or within the medical department. Others will be distributed in the registration. Again, the department heads, with conversations between myself, Mr. Gilbert, Dr. Gilbert, Karen, Spence in in registration, and then Dr. Nicholson in his team in triage. If you have any questions, by all means, refer those questions to your department head. And department heads, if you have any questions, ask the individuals that I just mentioned, please. We already talked about the evening banquet and program wristband. Again, those will be issued. The reason for that is so the patients don't forget. We want them to know they have a special spot saved for them that night. They are our VIP guests. Yes, we will have government VIP people by the grace of God, but the patients are our VIPs as well. We talked last time that we were so grateful to the Lord that we do have a pharmacist. Well, now we actually have 3. So Dr. Noon is so graciously accepted leading out the pharmacy. The formulary has been provided to our medical team and our dental and our vision team. We actually all met this week. If you did not get a chance to meet, I encourage you to please reach out to Dr. Linda Gilbert so you can receive that information. By the grace of God, and if it's His will, we will have radiology. I'm asking for special prayer in that area. Several of our physicians have indicated, particularly those within the specialty departments, that plain film x-rays would be very beneficial. So I'm asking if it's God's will, we can still work out with Trident Care to do our radiology. We will give you more information. By the way, next Sunday night will be our very last Zoom meeting before the event. So if you didn't get a chance to attend this one, don't miss next one, because this will be our final plan. We will be releasing the layout. All final instructions before the date of setup will be provided next Sunday. Dental services have not changed. We just were able, by God's grace, to get another dentist. We also lost a couple dentists. So any more Arizona licensed dentists, please, by all means, reach out. We are always can need more medical professionals. But of particular note, as we told you last week, we are in great need of non-medical people, especially given the logistical situation and in the days preceding setup. For those of you who are local and you don't have to, you don't have any other obligations, if you are able to help with the logistics, please reach out to Mr. George Gilbert. His phone number is 480-217-6968. Please reach out to him if you happen to be in the Phoenix area and you might be able to help before Thursday. That would be very appreciated. Additionally, for those of you who have been able to glean in-kind donations and the businesses that you've talked to have asked that their logo be represented, I need those logos. And I need them, please, no later than Wednesday, preferably by Tuesday morning. So again, absolutely no later than Wednesday. We need to go to press for a list in alphabetical order of our companies and businesses and entities, organizations that are partnering, whether in supplies or in volunteers or whatever the case may be. If they or your company has indicated that you will be co-sponsors or supporters, and you'd like your logo or the logo of those who have donated in-kind donations to be represented, please get those to me no later, absolutely no later than Wednesday, if preferable, if by Tuesday night. You can text those to me, which is the preferred method. My cell phone is 480-227-4345. 480-227-4345. You can also send those to Mr. Fimbres. But again, please get those in right away so that we can make sure and recognize and thank our sponsors. If you also need a 501c3 certificate, please reach out to Stacy. She can help provide that to you so that your companies can receive a tax-deductible donation. Another thing that we need, and I need this, please, again, no later than Wednesday morning, preferably by Tuesday night, but definitely no later than Wednesday morning. If there are other local churches for follow-up that have definitively been involved, and I'm specifically speaking to our Spanish churches, other than the ones that are listed here, and you would like to be, and also to our English churches, and you would be like to be listed as a follow-up location, please reach out to me as well. I know several of you have indicated that individually, and we need to take that to our follow-up committee. But again, I need to have your notice by, preferably, really, realistically, by Tuesday. But perhaps we can extend that until Wednesday morning. Our clothing department is doing wonderful. Thank you so much to Felicia Anderson and LT Oliver. You guys and your whole team has done a fantastic job. We're very excited about that. Just by way of reminder, we are covering the supplies, equipment, and medications. However, providers, as you heard in the provider meeting, if there is specific equipment and supplies, not medications. Medications have to stay within our formulary. If you have a specific request, you need to get that to Dr. Gilbert today or tomorrow. But as far as supplies, as far as stethoscopes, if you have your own sphygmometer or whatever the case may be, and you'd be willing to bring it, or you have specific dental equipment that you want, please just make sure and label those things, and please bring them. Just by way of reminder, medical malpractice coverage is available at $1 million, $3 million coverage. It covers all of our providers. However, you must be registered. So if you have not yet registered, which some of you still have not, you will not be covered by our insurance, whether general liability or medical malpractice. So we encourage you, please do that immediately. Additional services, as of 2 or 3 days ago, God did give us legal. So we will have legal services available. It will be, we'll learn more as far as the hours that will be available. We will also have, by the grace of God, and I say this prayerfully, limited laboratory services. We will give you finalized information by next Sunday. But at this point, if it's the Lord's will, it looks like we will have limited laboratory services. Unlike previous events, we're not going to automatically label everyone for lab services. These services will be ordered by the physician, similar to would be taking place in a clinic. It will be specific to the provider, is specific to the patients. Providers, please listen to your directors of medical, Dr. Woods and Dr. Gilbert, as far as what labs are available at this point. Very limited: hemoglobin A1C, CBC, maybe a CMP, depending on cost. We're hoping we can get our pap smears and our pathology approved, because that's always a great need as well. Event staff, you know who they are. The one that you have not yet met, I don't believe, is Anthony DeWitt, and he is running our media and public relations and has done so for a number of years. You know your volunteer director, Stacy Martin, and of course the directors of logistics and security, the Gilberts, and continue to request prayers for all involved. Patient registration is Karen, and you'll meet more of these individuals later. Accommodations, I hope everyone has taken care of their accommodations. I believe the Hyatt may or may not still have rooms available. You can reach out to Stacy, or actually directly onto the link once they are no longer available. I believe Stacy had indicated that they would be taking the link down, but that information can be further assessed. Just by way of reminder, and this has come up many times, for those of you who are out handing out flyers, please be sure to tell the patients this is first come, first serve. There's no identification, no documentation, no scheduling required. However, just let them know, if they want to ensure that they get the services that they desire, to please show up early. And that leads me to reiterate, please do not communicate with the patient lines outside. We have a team that does that. It's not to say, don't say, welcome, God bless you. Of course, we want you to do that. Of course, we want you to sing, for those of you who are in the music therapy, sing and play to the patients. But please do not communicate with the patient lines as far as whether they will or will not receive services, that for their particular desired service. That comes through our direct communication and directly communicated with administration, with our department heads. So please do not do that, but please do definitely chaplaincy under the direction of Pastor Martin, as well as others under his direction. Will be talking and praying with the patients outside and inside. Just wanted to follow that up. As follow-up clinics, I know medical providers, you know about that. That's who it pertains to. Generally speaking, to all of you, if there is a medical emergency, no matter where you're in your department, please notify your department head. And do not please call 911 right off the bat. Please call our emergency team. Dr. Gilbert will be telling you more about that during our final training session. But please, again, follow the chain of command and it will make things go much smoother. Call our emergency services department heads. Thank you. Processes, I think we've already talked about most of these. All patients must sign all consents to be seen. We've had a couple instances recently where certain patients refuse to sign the media release. If they will not sign, we are so sorry, but because pictures and images will be being taking place inside, they will unfortunately not be able to receive services. So all consents must be signed for the patients to be seen. And that's very important. Registration knows the process. We need to expedite the first few, well, really, it's more like the first 30 people as far as possible. And Karen and her team know how to do that. Hospitality, by way of reminder, will be wearing Hawaiian leis. I know Mr. Middleton is meeting with your team, and he and his directors and have things very well under control. Just listen to their direction and things will go great. Just by way of reminder, patients should never be walking around with their charts. We have to have control of the patient chart at all times. They should not be leaving with their charts. They can leave with copies of their charts through exit management, but they cannot be walking around, nor can they leave with their charts. Otherwise, we have no medical documentation and we are not able to follow up with the patient if anything comes back abnormal in any tests. We've already gone over the wristbands. When the patient comes to your department and after they leave your department, intake and exit individuals within each department, please make sure that the wristbands are cut off. After they've received services, it's very important that the wristbands are cut off. Those of you in exit management, if you notice wristbands that are still on the patient's wrist, please go ahead and cut them off, except for the flag. And hopefully nobody gets dizzy with me zooming back to the flag wristband, except for the flag wristband. Please don't cut that one off. That one is for the evening banquet. This will also help facilitate so that hopefully we can let our dinner crew and Elijah Baptiste and his team have a rough idea of how many people might be coming to the evening banquet. Obviously, if the patient says, I don't want that band, of course, we're going to respect patient autonomy. But unless they opt out, they will have their wristband on. Going back to literature and lifestyle, just again, we mentioned this last time. Please, if you have literature that you would like to have distributed, we ask that you discuss that with Pastor Martin. Literature is not to be distributed without prior authorization from our literature evangelism team. So unless administration is approved and Pastor Dale Martin has told you that this is approved and then it would be distributed by the chaplains, please do not distribute that particular piece. As far as needs, we are still in need of non-medical volunteers, as I indicated. And again, based on the things that have happened and our need for ongoing needs for the banquet. The Lord has provided so much. We still have financial needs. But the beautiful thing is, because of the 15,000 up to 15,000 matching funds, and then the additional 1,000, and then the other additional 1,000, we have 17,000 matching funds. So by God's grace, we can, with these matching funds plus a little bit more, God willing, we can finish out our needs for this event. God will provide. I don't have any question. He's already been providing. Yes, we've had some added expenses, and yes, we've had some difficulties this week, but He's clearly showing us that He is with us. He is providing, and He will bring us through. And just again, to remind everyone, we want to be outwardly presenting Jesus in both a professional and a modest and neat way. And so we ask that, again, the gentlemen wear pants, either tan, navy blue, or black pants. Please, no shorts and no jeans. And the ladies can either wear the same color pants or modest skirt. And then as far as shirts are concerned, the polo style shirts with closed-toed shoes for safety and to bring all attention to God, we ask for no jewelry. Again, you may want to take a snapshot of this. These are the colors for the different departments. Suffice it to say that almost all non-medical services are black and almost all medical services are white. Laboratory would be red, although in discussion we will have a conversation with Dr. Holloway, and she may or may not decide to change that color. Lifestyle is red. Dental is tan or navy blue, and those can be scrubs for dental. And triage, as well as all the medical services, again, is white. I just want to thank each and every one of you for continuing to lift up this event in your prayers. I want to thank you for your ongoing support, and I want to particularly thank you for your support and prayers, particularly for my family, both our immediate family and extended family, and our family within Liberty and Health. So many people are experiencing challenges, and we want these people to feel Jesus' closeness. And so I'm asking us to continue to press forward and expect that God will do what He has promised, which is exceedingly abundantly above all that we ask or think. So at this time, I'm going to close with prayer, and then we're going to have a few minutes of question and answer, and then we'll close out for the evening. So if you can bow your heads with me. Dear Father in heaven, thank you so very much for this opportunity of becoming organized under your banner. We pray that you'll please give us just what we need. Thank you for the miracles that you have provided. Please bring us the people that you've already called to yourself. Please help those who are hurting or have been hurt. Please heal them. Please protect them. And please let each and every one know that you're with them and you're with each and every one of us to guide us through as we seek to share you while we still have the freedom and liberty to do so. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Okay, with that, I am going to ask Franklin, if you can please read me the questions, if you don't mind.
Okay. Will they have the flag band for Saturday dinner as well as Friday banquet?
Yes, yes. For those who come in, and what we will do, registration and triage, we will write Friday or Sabbath. I want to say Sabbath or Sunday on the wristband. So for those who are coming on Sabbath lunch and then we would like them to stay for dinner, I will get back to you on that, whether we want to put a 1 and 2 on Sabbath Saturday's wristband or if our team would prefer a different. So I will get back to you on that one. But at this point, just plan for a wristband for Friday, Sabbath, and Sunday.
Can we wear shorts for setup?
Absolutely. Please try to be as comfortable, but please wear closed-toed shoes. I mean, we don't want anybody to get hurt. And you're going to want comfortable shoes. It's a lot of walking.
Is this session being recorded? I came in late, sorry.
Yes, it is.
Um, can we give haircuts to those waiting for other services that do not have a yellow wristband?
No, they will need to be banded. However, if you have a patient that has already come through and they would like to have a haircut, that will need to be directed through our hospitality, through Dr. Gilbert, to our director of hairdresser, which is Monica Salem. She may already have too many patients to be serviced for that day, so I don't want to cause any patient confusion. So please just follow the chain of command. If a patient indicates that that's what they want, talk to your department head. Department heads talk to either myself, Mr. Gilbert, or I'll let you know who the third person is next time.
Will we have substance abuse counseling?
Yes, by the grace of God. And Stacy, can you send me a text to please reach out to the people that I need to just a way of reminder. If someone could please send me a text personally, I need to follow up on that. And thank you for that question. Yes, we will within our mental health department, but I would appreciate a follow up text because I need to follow up with the people that were planning to come.
Will we be able to buy polo shirts on site?
Not at this time. However, if that's a great need, I'm sure we can arrange that. Um, send Stacy an email and myself, either a text or an email, but that's not usually the way we do it. Usually people just go to Walmart, or we don't have any specific logoed shirts. Although in the future, if the Lord so provides finances and resources to do that, we can, but we try to keep things as economical as possible.
Is volunteering for SDAs only or Seventh-day
Absolutely.
Adventists?
That's a very good question, but absolutely not. Everyone is welcome to volunteer. They just need to know that we are a Christian organization. We are composed of Seventh-day Adventists, and we are very excited to be celebrating Jesus' seventh-day Sabbath as part of the celebration 250 years of freedom and liberty to share our faith.
Is there going to be a way people can get a ride to the event if there is if they're in a wheelchair and from the shelter?
Okay, I appreciate that question very much. And after seeing, and I hope all of you heard that story that I gave you at the beginning about the church that I happened to be driving by, and that miracle story of all those men jumping out of their car and coming over to me. It was a very unusual situation, but they were busing those people in and out. I would like to do that. I'll just be honest. We have not routinely done this in the past. We did do this in Tampa, Florida, and it was such a blessing. I would like to do that. So if there are those of you who um, have the means and the resources, or the better yet, the desire and the prayer to do that, then please reach out to us. I very much would like to do that. So yes, but at this point we don't have that capability, but it doesn't mean we won't.
I don't see any more. Okay, actually, what is the cost for parking in the garage? A couple of people want to volunteer, but they are concerned about the cost of parking. Is there a discount code to pay early prior to Sabbath?
I'm not sure if we've received the final word. Mr. Gilbert and I were still working with that with the convention center. Stacy, if you, I should be writing this down too. I need to write that down right now to follow up with parking because I still have not gotten the final word. I know there's $12 parking. I think it's like a block and a half away, block and a half to 2 blocks away. But I'm still working on the actual parking for Sabbath. So we will let you know that by no later than next Sunday, but God willing, sometime this week.
That is all the questions I have seen in the chat.
All right.
Dr. Leela, I have one comment. This is George Gilbert. With regards to setup day, anyone who comes to help with setup has to be pre-registered. We do not want anyone to help unless they are registered. So please make sure you're registered if you're coming for setup.
Thank you very much. Now that would mean, I know there are a number of individuals at different churches who have indicated that they would, our local churches who have indicated that they would like to help, but they can't necessarily help all weekend, but they'd like to help us set up. And the reason Mr. Gilbert's saying that is because, again, we want to make sure that everyone has insurance coverage. So please go ahead and encourage everyone to register. If they are not yet registered, that's not a problem. And if they show up at the event and they're not yet registered, that's okay too. I will have my computer there. I can't necessarily pick up the most heavy of items, but myself and other team members, we can all help to get the individuals registered. So please don't keep that as a deterrent. Please bring them and we will get them registered once they're there.
Dr. Leela, this is Gary Middleton. Can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, there was a couple things, and he probably did not see it in the chat, so I'll bring it out. Please, in hospitality, they need to wear black polos. Number one. Number two, we only have 2 interpreters. We really need to reach out for more interpreters. My understanding is there will be a large Spanish group. It was suggested in our meeting tonight that maybe we reach out to the Spanish churches to see if we could get some more volunteers. The only other thing that is critical, and I think this might be the only place to say it, but each department, please have somebody for dental, medical, and vision, and the minors.
Off of speaker.
Please, can I finish, please? And please have somebody at your desk to receive the clipboards, so hospitality people can come in, drop the clipboards off to you, and so they can get back to their assigned area. That's critical. And then on the exit sides of the different facilities, the majors and the minors, make sure you have that little scissors. So when they come out, they have to cut the bands. That's critical, and I appreciate it. Thank you, Dr. Leela.
Thank you, Gary. And Gary, you've been such a blessing for so many years. And what Mr. Middleton just said, if you can also send me a text, Gary, to follow up, and I'm going to actually provide you the phone numbers of the Spanish pastors that I've been communicating with. We actually had a full presentation with all the Spanish pastors. I know they've been handing out flyers. I'm wondering, maybe perhaps they didn't realize how much we needed interpretation. So I will provide those to you, but if you could send me a text about that. And then those of you on this call and who will be watching it later, please encourage your fellow church members. We definitely need more translation services. Next question. Is there any more? I saw something else pop up.
We have some comments and a question. Like Felicia says, clothing department.
Franklin, I'm so sorry I have to interrupt. I'm about to lose cell service. And I wanted to let them know 3 things. The hotel currently has queen rooms from the 2nd through the 7th. They do not have, and they have king rooms from the 3rd through the 7th. They do not have any more king rooms on the 2nd. Okay. And the registration link on the website is still active. So for everyone that knows that. Also, I cannot find any polo shirts at Walmart in the store, but I order mine through walmart.com and they come very quickly. Also, please, there are some of you, even some of our department heads, that have not registered. need you to take a few minutes and go on and please register. Thank you much. And Leela, I've written down all these things you want me to send you.
Thank you, Stacy. Everyone say thank you to Stacy. She's one of my sisters and she's helping hold all of us together. So Jesus is definitely using her and so many of you. Okay, is there any other questions? I definitely see some more popping up. Can
Okay.
you?
No, someone is okay, just a minute. Someone named Felicia said clothing department has 300 pounds of clothes donated. We need volunteers to help sort/organize it tomorrow at Phoenix Community Center. Someone replied and was asking what times. I didn't see anything else with that. So someone said, if we are registered to work a department, does that mean we can help with setup and tear down?
Let's go back to Felicia's question, if you don't mind first, please. Felicia, if you could go ahead and unmute. And now, Felicia, thank you so much. She's such a gem helping us run our clothing department. She also helps and runs the community service center here in Phoenix. Felicia, are you unmuted?
Yes, I am. Hi, everyone. Hi, how are you? Yes,
Hello.
I don't run the community service center. I'm with Community of Hope, who is
Oh,
with, have a church inside the community service center, and I'm the community service department leader. So, but Melanie Cruz has someone over the community service center. It just hasn't opened up yet. But yes, God has been really good and faithful. We have received a lot of donations, especially from Glendale yesterday. They gave us 300 pounds of clothes, and we were able to bring that to the community service center after church, me and my husband, and there are 10 huge bags of clothes. And so we are in need of volunteers. We were able to sort out and organize last Monday as well with Carol McKee and LT and some other people. And it went really fast. We were just amazed how fast it went because we had, volunteers there. And Carol had like a truck load full of donations. So, praise, God for that. And the donations are still coming. We still haven't received donations from Camelback. I know that they're gathering donations. And then Chandler Philem Church said that they were going to get some clothes. And then a Chandler church, another church in Chandler said they were going to give clothes, and then Beacon Light said they were going to give clothes. So clothes are coming. And so far we have set it up to go ahead and sort and organize on Monday. And so we did it last Monday and we're doing it this Monday. And so we might have to, if we continue on getting all these clothes, there is a group called the 50 Plus Club, and they're donating clothes. And so we're just getting clothes, but we need volunteers. And so I'm asking if there could be anyone that's willing to volunteer to help us sort these clothes out and get them, tagged and bagged and boxed, ASAP. So, yes.
praise the Lord. That's wonderful, Felicia. Thank you so much. And also, yes, I was at Camelback today and they have those 2 huge boxes full, and then they've got stuff all around it. And I know there's a bunch of stuff at my parents' house, and I have a bunch of stuff. So we gotta all get our stuff together. So
now,
we need
more
more
and no video.
Can you hear me?
Hi, good evening, everyone. How are you?
Hello,
Good.
Dr. Holloway.
Great.
Um,
You doing well, Sharon?
do we have, sorry, Dr. Holloway, did you have something you were going to add to our, we were going to say? Okay. I think, so can you go ahead and read me the next question, please?
Okay. Someone was asking, do you still want clothing?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And also, any other toiletries like diapers, toilet paper, soap, those kinds of things, shoes. Those kinds of things are very, very in need. Next question, please.
Where can we donate clothes?
Felicia, where would you like them to send their items?
Well, we do have a flyer that went out, but if you call me and you want to donate clothes, I try to work with people. But the best way is if you call me, and then we can set up to where I can meet you at the Phoenix Community Service Center, and I can just open it up for you to drop off your donations there. Anytime during the day, it's good for me. You just give me a call and we can set that up. We do have some people that are not able to go to the community service center. So, I had told them, okay, I can go by your house and pick it up, but I'm not really trying to do that all the time. But, I try to work with, who I can work with. So, yes.
Okay, there's some follow-up questions for you, Felicia. One is, what is your number?
Okay. My number is 602 785 6552.
Okay, and please, someone, if you could put that in the chat, that would be good. Another question is, do you need clothes donations for any specific age groups?
We're taking donations for any age group, but what we tend to find is that a lot of men do not donate. So women, they have no problem with giving their clothes because they have lots of them. But men, we need men's clothes, definitely. And
What
shoes.
is
And
the,
shoes. Mm-hmm.
what is the address of the community center?
Okay. Because I don't know it by heart, but I'll put it in chat. Just one moment.
Okay. And then while you're putting that in the chat, one person said, and at what time on Monday?
Okay. We're going to start at 9:30. So we plan on doing it from 9:30 to 2 p.m. So it starts at 9:30.
And then someone said, what about children?
Yes, children. We need children. And again, it's just not clothes. We are asking for shoes and we are asking for, toiletries, new socks, underwear. So, yes, we're looking for those things as well.
Okay, I think those are all the questions for you, Felicia, that I can see. And then there is another question that was asked. If we are registered to work in a department, does that mean we can help with setup and tear down?
Please, please. And yes, absolutely. We need everybody there that can be there. So regardless of what department that you're signed up to, we're asking you to be there, and as far as possible to be there early. Now, once the actual pipe and drape, once you think of the hospital being set up or the clinic being set up, the structure is set up. Once that happens, then everyone can go to their respective departments and get their actual department set up. However, I'm going to ask something, and this is me. Okay, this is Leela asking all of you. I need help with decorations. For whatever reason, God has just put this thing on my heart, and I just like the people to be able to experience, God's beauty. Most of them, when you saw them yesterday, on the black asphalt and concrete, and it's ugly. It's just ugly. And God, and this is what hit me. They see ugly, they feel ugly, they feel horrific scorching heat. It's no wonder, it just hit me like a ton of bricks yesterday. It's no wonder they try to escape, many of them with drugs and alcohol and other things to pacify that awful, quite frankly, that ugliness that they're experiencing. And so as we're ministering to their bodies by the grace of God, and to their minds, and most importantly to their spiritual peace, we want to give them a green space. God gave green for a reason. There's tons of research to show that. And so I need help. I need help. We go to Home Depot, we pick up plants and trees and bushes, and we try to make the place look like a garden. I know it sounds crazy, but it's beautiful. And I want that banquet hall to look like, I mean, we can't make it look like heaven's banquet, but we can do our best. And that's what I want. I want us to be able to represent our Jesus in every way. So all that said, I need help with decorations a lot. I need muscle power to help me move those plants and trees, and I need those of you, whether men or ladies, that have an eye for creating the decorations. I sent you a picture. I posted it in there that AI helped me design, and I think it will be a beautiful opportunity. We have what we need. I just need the people to do it. So as always, we just need more help. Are there any last questions
There,
or thoughts?
there are some more.
Dr. Leela, this is Linda Gilbert. I had one thing I wanted to bring up. I'm not sure if it was really reinforced heavy enough. Nobody can put on blue bands for dental or purple bands for eye. So if you meet someone and they need dental, oh, please let me go in the dental. It's already pre-assigned and we can't change that. They are assigned outside of the building, and through registration, it's already assigned. So don't try to add dental or eye bands. And also, thank you very much for being flexible, because many of you are going to be moved out of the generic department that you're in and put into specific departments. So please be flexible with us and work with us last minute. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, where and how can we ship clothing?
I sent the link to the, I don't know if I did it right. It says share Google for the Community Service Center. I don't know if I sent that. I'm
Yeah,
trying to.
I've seen it. It opens up, so
Okay.
it works. It works on my end.
Okay. Yes. Again, it's best if they give me a call. I know on the flyer, and I don't know if we're still are able to drop off clothes at the conference, Dr. Leela, because that's what it says on the flyer.
They're welcome to do that. I don't know that any come in there, to be honest with you, because they would have called me. I will check. I'm putting that on my list of things to check on. But when I was there on Thursday, there wasn't any there. So I will check with the conference office if they have any. But I have seen them at the churches where I've been going to different churches and different things. I have seen boxes out in the foyer with items in them. And I don't know where Paradise Valley is on that process. We need to figure that out too.
Okay. So yes, even at the churches, we're able to go ahead and pick them up on Sabbath at different churches as well. We just need to know in advance when to come and pick them up. Also.
Perfect.
Yes. And I do have a question. There are some people that want to volunteer that's Adventist, but they also need services. And so they're like, can I, get services and then go volunteer? So how does that work?
That's a good question. So our policy is so that we never, like the people that have been waiting outside in line, we don't want to ever bypass them. So by all means, anyone is welcome to receive services. The only thing is we can't have people bypassing the line once they're inside, if that makes sense. So if someone needs dental work, then they need to go outside and get in line. If someone needs vision or medical or whatever the case may be, they just need to go through the process and go through line. By all means, they should. But we just can't have people bypassing the line. And then they're welcome.
We don't encourage our volunteers to hold a place in line, go back and volunteer. You can't do that. You either can be a patient or a volunteer for the day. Whichever you'd like is fine.
Okay. Can you show the setup day schedule so I can screenshot it?
Can I bring it back up, you mean?
Okay. I think so.
All right. Are you still able to see my screen?
Let me see. Yes. And
By the way, we are still in need of people to help hand out the flyers. I know we keep saying we need this, we need that, we need this. As you can tell, we need a lot of things. God's got his work cut out to help us complete all these things, but he will do it. But we still need a lot of flyers distributed. George has done a fantastic job, he and his team, but we still need more. Okay, I'm looking for, where's the schedule? Here we go. Okay, let's take snaps if you'd like. Here's setup day. Here's day 1 and day 3. I mean, you can just take one picture. Friday and Sunday's schedule. I should have just done that. Friday/Sunday, September 4/6. Same exact schedule. Here is Sabbath schedule. And here is Monday's schedule for breakdown.
Okay, and I'm going to ask if you have, please mute your mic if you're not supposed to be speaking. I'm not able to mute people's mics because I'm not host right now. Okay, I have more questions. Will we have tablecloths for each department, or do we get our own?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question? I couldn't hear you.
Will we get tablecloths for each department, or do we get our own?
You will have tablecloths.
Where will patients pick up their glasses?
So that will be, we're finalizing that with Dr. Daniels. It looks like we're going to have only one location. It's probably going to be, just let me put that on my list before I give misinformation. Let me talk to Dr. Daniels and I will notify you where that is next week. This is the reason that we need those churches to differentiate whether they need to be on the list for the follow-up or not. And that means a commitment. For those of you from our local churches, I mean, Paradise Valley is my church. Wherever you're from, it's a commitment. It's a commitment to help nurture and follow up on the Bible study contacts and the health contacts and just being a friend to these people. So, but we do want to know who those churches are that would like to participate. So I need to know that no later again than Wednesday morning, and if at all possible, by Tuesday night. 2 things I need to know by Wednesday. If you have a sponsor or you have participated as a 501c or 3 or a business and you'd like to be listed, and I need to know, and your logo to be listed, and I need to know if your congregation or church would like to be listed as on the follow-up sheet. Okay, is there one last question at this point?
There's about 4 questions or more. It says, can we have a copy of the PowerPoint?
Yes, as soon as we're done, Franklin, I will send that to you and you can send that out. I'm not sure if Stacy can, between the 2 of you, you can send it by MailChimp and by the other method. And then of course we'll post this particular YouTube video afterwards.
And I encourage everybody, if you're not in Signal, please be in Signal. That's the easiest way to communicate with volunteers. Okay, where can we pick up the flyers? Will we be charged to park each day? And will patients be charged for parking?
Okay, so let's go through those one by one. George, let me go to George. Okay, his name is George Reeves and his phone number is 480. Maybe someone can write this in the chat for me. George Reeves has the flyers and his phone number is 480-238-4103. That is 480-238-4103. By the way, George went around to numerous churches yesterday. I've participated as well and dropped off flyers at numerous churches. For example, Camelback has a big stack in their foyer. I know Glendale had a bunch. There's a lot of churches that have them. And you can also reach out to Mr. Reeves, who has I think we're about 18,000 or more that he still has left. So please reach out to one of those locations. The Spanish churches have flyers as well. The next question, can you remind me what the next part of that question was?
Okay. Will we be charged to park each day, and will patients be charged for parking?
At this point, we are very, 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 very limited. We're actually not at our budget, about 36,000 that we still need to, 38,000, something like that. We still need to raise, but the Lord has provided us with matching funds. But at this point, we do not have a budget to pay for parking. Most of the patients end up parking some ways away anyway. They're used to that, those who come downtown, or they use the public transit system, which actually drops off right next to the convention center. But at this point, no, it would have to be a daily purchase. You can buy it by the day, or you can both there in the structure at the convention center, or like I was mentioning, so far the lowest price that we've seen is $12. And that is in the information that you've previously received. However, as I mentioned, if you can please give me until next week to finalize with the convention center and see what they're willing to help us with. As far as parking, they were supposed to get me that information and I have not heard back. So we will finalize that and have that for you at our next final training session next Sunday. Next question.
Will there be music therapy on Sabbath clinic hours from 1 to 5 p.m.?
Absolutely. Yes. And the people that are in charge of that are Melissa Alexander and Ted Ortlett. So you can reach out to those people.
And George was just basically saying what you said, light rail bus might be a good alternative, a lot cheaper, Valley Metro. That's all I have not seen any other questions.
Perfect. Well, thank you, everybody. God bless you. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedules. Please continue to pray for God's protection, God's leading, his resources, financing, and all the other things. And we will keep you posted. God bless you, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.
God bless you. Thank